Welcome to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. We're in Lexington, Ohio for coverage of Trans Am, America's road racing series. Today it's the Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car 100 presented by ETE Reman. It's part of First Energy Trans Am weekend at Mid-Ohio. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. NASCAR star Michael McDowell joins me for the call in just a couple of moments, and Todd Lewis has our coverage on pit road. TA2 at Mid-Ohio, a series and a racetrack made for each other. This 2.25 mile layout, very challenging. Many say it provided the best Trans Am race of the season with this category 1 year ago. There ought to be a great battle today. Plenty of fast race cars in the TA2 field. Up front, a newcomer to Trans Am racing on the outside pole. The pole setter, a driver who's been fast all season long. Todd is standing by with our pole award winner.
That's right, Rick. Lawrence Loshak is starting up front in this very hot-looking number 5 Pennzoil machine. What's it going to take to stay up front here at Mid-Ohio? A real challenging course.
Yeah, you know, I love this track, but really to stay up front, I mean, I got my teammates back there and a lot of friends that are extremely talented. I mean, what it's going to take, I mean, a perfect mistake-free race. I mean, the car has been a rocket ship all weekend, really for the past couple of races. We've been consistently qualifying in the top 3, so man, that first elusive Trans Am win, I'm hoping to repeat what Gar Robinson did last year, not only take his first win here, but turn the season around and win the championship. So we'll see.
Lawrence Loshak is all business this afternoon.
Well, Michael McDowell, we've seen Lawrence Loshak get better and better, faster and faster in these cars. Maybe today's the day.
We've seen him up front a lot. And at Mid-Ohio, you're going to see lots of bumping, banging, side-by-side racing. This TA2 category, always full of excitement.
1 year ago, we saw cars in the weeds, guys rubbing on each other. It ought to be more of the same here today. Now a very special command.
Hey now, race fans. I'm Billy F. Gibbons, coming to you live from out on the road with ZZ Top. Gentlemen, start your engines.
How about that?
That is great.
Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top, big fans of Trans Am Racing, giving the command here to put the field in motion at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Engines coming to life. LoshakStart.com, Lawrence Loshak's 5 car. Gar Robinson, the defending TA2 champion, up front as well. Here's the championship standings. 5 races in the books out of 12 this season. Robinson over Buffamonte by just 8 points. McIvern back there in 3rd. Lawrence Loshak all the way back in 8th in points, 50 points out of the lead.
A very tight battle for the championships. No mistakes. You got to score all the points. Gar Robinson has it slightly, but can he hold on to it? 4th
in the points table is Gar's teammate, the great road racing veteran Shane Lewis out of Jupiter, Florida. Shane looking for his first career Trans Am victory, which might come today. Todd spoke with him earlier.
Shane Lewis will start this 72 machine in the 5th position. He has lots and lots of experience here at Mid-Ohio. What's it going to take to move forward and maybe capture a victory?
That's what I want. I want to be on the podium for the 74 Ranch team, and specifically Pura Vida. Not only the sponsor on my race car, but the sponsor for the race. This is the toughest field, though, that you could possibly imagine. From the beginning to the back, these are all very tough competitors. So to get on the podium is going to take a lot of smarts, and it's going to take a lot of speed. So I hope I have both of those for everybody at the end.
Looking forward to it. Great competition here this afternoon at Mid-Ohio.
Shane Lewis has been Gar Robinson's teammate these last couple of seasons, a guy with tons of experience at the top levels of road course racing. See if he can get it done here today. Loshak on pole. How about Tanis Casamets with a ton of experience? This is the Newman Walks Ford making its first appearance in Trans Am outside row 1. We take a look at rows 5 through 8. Tommy Archer will start back at 10th. Gar Robinson in the 6th row.
Yeah, absolutely. Gar's got his work cut out for him today. We normally see him starting up in those first couple of rows, but today he's going to have to get through the field.
LP Montour back there in the 10th row in one of the Dodges. He's always quick. We'll see if he can move up today as well. As we take a look at the rest of the field, Tony Cook will start back in 25th in the 63 car. There's Loshak in the 5 on the inside, that beautiful Pennzoil machine. Take a look at Tony Buffamonte's car. There we see Dylan McIvern, the 44 of Adam Andretti. Tommy Archer starting deep in the field. Out of the horseshoe and heading down. They call this the keyhole at Mid-Ohio. Heading down to the start on the longest straightaway at this racetrack.
This is going to be an exciting day. You see such a huge TA2 field. Most competitive part of Trans Am is this weekend. So many talented drivers. Today is going to be a battle till the end.
Green flag is in the air. Loshak, and alongside Loshak, here comes a host of challengers. Justin Haley in the 99 car, and on the outside of row 1, Casamets trying to grab the lead.
It's so hard to get through this corner here, side by side, no contact yet. Looks like they might get through clean.
Loshak is the leader. Casamets second. Young Justin Haley in that black 99 car bidding for his first Trans Am win. He settles into 3rd in front of Buffamonte. Shane Lewis, we heard from him a moment ago. He is 5th right now. Settling down single file. Denise Casamet's a great story. The team name is Newman Walks Racing, and yes, that's Paul Newman's team. They ran an Atlantic Series team for Denise back years ago. Michael, when you were active in Champ Car, Denise Casamet was one of the quickest guys in an open wheel car.
He was absolutely open wheel star, up and coming, fast, always up front, had a lot of speed. Fun to see him in the Trans Am Series.
And he walks back in the garage area. They've announced that they are reactivating Newman Walks Racing. Paul's name will stay on that team, and that's, I think, a fantastic development for Trans Am. That's a beautiful new Mustang, and Casamet's quick all weekend in that car. Here's Haley in third spot in one of Mike Cope's Fords.
And Justin Haley is one in about everything. We see lots of speed out of him. He's always up front, but we've seen some mistakes as well. He's young, he's hungry, he's aggressive. He's got to put together a solid race, no contact, no mistakes, and be there when that white flag drops and see if he can get the victory lane.
Speaking of hungry and aggressive, Adam Andretti in that 44. We got a glimpse of him passing Jordan Bernlower in the BC Race Car 07. Adam picking up a spot. Loshak starting to stretch it out a little as Buffamani dives to the inside on Shane Lewis. Shane will keep the position.
Great side-by-side battle. Each driver given a little bit of room. It's early in the race. You don't want to have contact. You definitely don't want to have a spin off this early.
There's Adam Andretti in the ECC Components 44 car. He's right behind Dylan McIvern in the 24. Talk about championship contenders. McIvern out of Vermont really burst on the scene a year ago. Got a couple of race wins. He's very much in the title fight here this year.
At the end of the 2015 season, we saw Dylan up front challenging for wins, so much speed. This year, he's been in the top 5. He's been in challenge, but we haven't seen that outright speed that we saw last year.
Speaking of the Engineered Components Company team, Tommy Archer, the Archer Brothers 54, on the charge from a little deeper in the field here in that Chevrolet. You're watching a master at work when you ride with Tommy Archer.
And Tommy does a great job managing his races. You have to be aggressive, but at the same time, we know there's going to be an action excitement. Tommy's very good at keeping the car underneath him, the tires, and being there at the end.
Speaking of keeping the car on the pavement, Dylan McIvern put a right rear off coming toward the keyhole, manages to keep it straight though. Races inside of Buffamani fighting for position.
A very aggressive move. Got a little wide coming off of turn 1, still had the momentum and pulled off the pass on Buffamani.
So you've got McIvern in the 24, Buffamani in the 34, as they fight for position in the top 5. Loshak still your leader. Here comes Shane Lewis diving to the inside of Justin Haley for third, and he's got him. Good pass by Lewis.
Just a great out-braking move there. Had a run going down the straightaway, popped out, was able to pull it off successfully.
Denise Casamet's meantime continues to run second in that Mustang after qualifying on the outside pole in the 03 car. Before the start, we had an opportunity to talk to Denise as we watch Shane Lewis try to charge by him and pick up second spot. Denise talked to Todd about what it's like to come racing here in Mid-Ohio in Trans Am.
It's similar to sedan racing I've done in the past, but it handles different. It's different tires. It moves a lot, and so yeah, it's a true American racing. So it should be fun tomorrow or today.
How's the competition?
That will be fun to see how they welcome me, because I'm sure I stir some things up there. So we'll see in the first lap how clean everybody is, if they welcome me normally or they'll give me some bumps and bruises.
I love what he said there. We'll see how they welcome me to the series. Obviously, he's done a great job, clean so far, but as a newcomer, when you come in, when you have that kind of speed, hey, not in my playground, not in my sandbox, you're not going to come in here and take away a podium finish from me, but so far, we've seen a great race.
They will run a partial season in that 03 car, and here's Shane Lewis diving to the inside, getting by Denise for second spot. The newcomers to the series aren't always welcomed in the greatest way, but the spirit in the Trans Am paddock, and a guy like Denise Casamet, who's been doing this for such a long time at a high level, I think it's a feather in the cap of the series that they're here to run.
Absolutely, and I think of Tony as a veteran. This is not a guy with no experience. He's driven all different types of cars, from sedans to prototypes to open wheel cars, so this is a guy that has a lot of experience. He may be new to the Trans Am series, but he's got a lot of success, and this is a guy that will be up front.
Justin Haley falling back a little bit. He came so close to winning at Brainerd over 4th of July weekend. Got taken out late in the race. We'll see what happens when we get back in the Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car 100. Back at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, the Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car 100, presented by ETE Reman. He's Michael McDowell. I'm Rick Benjamin. Todd Lewis on pit road. Battling for third, McIvern swings to the inside of Denise Casamet down the main straightaway.
and he set that pass up 2 or 3 corners ahead. It is a great overtaking move. Dylan McIvern's been very aggressive in the early go of this race.
Headed toward the keyhole. I'll bet you that this is the first time Denise Kazimets has run on bias ply tires in a long, long time, if ever.
Man, bias ply tires, they're so much fun. A lot of forgiveness. You slide them around, and like he mentioned, these cars move around and you can slide them. It's a little bit of getting used to that the tires won't fall off. You're so disciplined when you drive other cars. Don't slide, don't slide. These, they hang out. We see Adam Andretti, we see Lawrence Loshak, and they slide these cars. A lot of fun to watch.
Speaking of Adam Andretti, he blows by Kazimets but locks him up. A little tire smoke there heading into the right-hander. So give Adam Andretti 4th position here, and here comes Justin Haley on the outside of Kazimets. Denise Kazimets going to school in these big Trans Am cars.
And it happens. You get your momentum broke. That's exactly what happened to Tonys right there. Wrong place, wrong time. You put your guard down for 1 second, you lose 2 or 3 spots in this series.
One of our onboard looks, courtesy of Replay XD. The Trans Am 2 series is powered by AEM Infinity. They make the spec ECU boxes and electronics for these cars and do a terrific job. There's Buffamani now behind Kazimets. Race leader continues to be Lawrence Loshak in that beautiful Chevrolet. There's Andretti. The black 99 of 17-year-old Justin Haley. Shane Lewis running in 2nd spot, running order top of your screen.
And we see Lawrence Loshak come into the picture here. We haven't seen him a lot. That's because he is dominating this race. Pulled out to several second lead. Lots of speed we've seen out of him this weekend.
Tommy Archer back there around 9th in front of Gar Robinson. Want to give a call to the 07 Jordan Bernlower. Young driver in the BC Race Car Chevrolet out of Minnesota. Had his struggles at his home track of Brainerd a few weeks ago. Nice job in qualifying, and he's hanging right with the big boys here.
We ride on board here with Tony Buffamani trying to set up a pass on Tonys here. Tonys drives it in really far into the corner, not able to pull off the pass.
Buffamani up through the gears. This is where Mid-Ohio really gets fun and challenging, where the elevation change kicks in. We talked to Tony Buffamani before the start today about his bid to get to the front of TA2.
It's a fantastic battle. Here again at Mid-Ohio, all the speed appears to be under the Mike Cope tent again. But you know, the 72-74 run great. They're the defending champions. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Right now, they're the best. So we're going after them hard. I know they're not going to quit either.
Buffamani with a 5th place run up at Brainerd back over 4th of July weekend. Very much a championship contender in that 34 car. He's locked in right now behind the 03 of Denise Kazimets. Here's the battle for position. 2nd spot in play. McIvern takes a look to the inside of Lewis. Can't get there.
And this is what we expected out of Dylan McIvern all year long. We're finally seeing the speed that we saw at the end of last season, putting lots of pressure on Shane Lewis, trying to get that 2nd spot.
4th spot belongs to Adam Andretti in the ECC 44 car. There's the Robinson Racing contingent on their pit box, taking a look at the telemetry and the laptops, making sure everything is in place for their 2 drivers. Robinson, the defending series champ, won the title as a rookie, hasn't shown a lot of speed so far this weekend, didn't qualify well, and he has not really moved up as yet.
But we saw him, start back in the mid-pack there. He's made a few spots here, but look at the ultra-competitive TA2 class. Their nose to tails. Much of the manufacturers, you see the Camaro, you see the Mustang, they're all nose to tail. It's going to be very hard for Gar to pick through these guys.
McIvern trying to find some running room to get by Lewis for 2nd spot. Lawrence Loshak, if he's looking in the mirrors at all, is thinking, hey, that's great. You guys fight it out. I've set sail up front here. Buffamani trying to track down the car of Denise Kazimets a little sideways as he came over the hill there.
And as you crest the hill, so much fun. The cars get light and you drift all the way out to the exit.
Kazimets chasing down Haley. There's Lewis in 2nd, McIvern in 3rd as they come through the carousel and head to the front straightaway. McIvern 3rd in the championship, Lewis 4th in the title fight. Everybody bunched up as we get to the halfway point of this 2016 season. So a lot at stake for these TA2 drivers.
Absolutely, a lot of points on the line here. You can't have any mistakes. You see the guys that are, oh!
Trouble for one of the Pura Vida Tequila entries. This is Shane Lewis. Lost it coming through turn 1. Goes sliding over the asphalt there, one of the access roads. Will get it refired. Man, he loses a lot here.
And we are just talking about this. This is exactly...
Trouble for Buffamani. Tony Buffamani goes around in the keyhole and has to drop the car back. Doesn't want to beach it there. One of of the Mike Cope Fords. Let's take a look here. This is the fight for position. Must have been a little contact with McIvern.
Definitely contact there. McIvern got into the back bumper. Shane Lewis spun him around. I don't think Dylan was trying to get there. He ran wide, came back across the curb.
Take a look from Tony Buffamonti's viewpoint now as he closes in on Kazimets. Looked like he might have gotten tagged.
He definitely got help getting into the keyhole there. Unfortunate. You know, you're going to have this in racing, but to have it all happen on one lap, that's crazy.
So Jordan Bernlohr, Tommy Archer, and then the 74 car of points leader Gar Robinson all benefit from the two cars going off. They gained a couple. Oh, another car is off. Jordan Bernlohr goes off. Now I'm starting to wonder if somebody's not putting fluid down here.
There's a lot happening in a very short period of time. I agree with you, Rick. It might be something on the racetrack that's causing this, but obviously this will bring out the full course caution.
Bernlohr with a hard trip into the soft wall. Second straight race that he's had a very hard impact, and Buffamonti, who I think let the car roll to get it out of harm's way off the racetrack, has trouble getting going. Here's another look from Tommy Archer's vantage point. Bernlohr just put a left rear off.
This got in maybe a little bit too deep, got his left sides over that curb and shot him off.
Lawrence Loshak takes advantage of the situation to continue to build his lead in the 5-car full course yellow at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. McIvern, Andretti, Justin Haley, and Kazimets are top 5. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, the Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car 100, presented by ETE Reman. It's the TA2 battle here at Mid-Ohio. I'm Rick Benjamin, NASCAR star Michael McDowell alongside Todd Lewis with our coverage on pit road. AEM Infinity powering the Trans Am 2 Championship Series. Before the start today, I had a chance to talk with the man in charge there. With Greg Neuwirth, the CEO of AEM, one of the major partners of Trans Am Racing. Greg, AEM has come in. They're a big part of especially TA2 now. How important is Trans Am to your company?
Very important. We've been around since about 1987, and our technology has evolved over the years. The TA2 cars have evolved as well, and they're now running electronic fuel injection. Our Infinity ECU and data logging is controlling the fuel injection on these cars. This is my first event. I haven't been to a Trans Am race yet. It's awesome. The cars are great. You know, these are American muscle cars. They're exciting, and it took a lot of work to put all this together with Trans Am, both our company and the Trans Am people. We've already, in a short period of time, come a very long way. The TA2 class is the first class that we're involved with. We're hoping that in the future we can expand that involvement to cover some of the other classes as well. As their program evolves, we'll continue to evolve, and I see a bright future for the both of us.
So AEM Infinity powering TA2 competition here this season. And it's great to have those folks on board, helping with the technology in this series. You want to cost control this kind of racing, Michael McDowell, but you want to give teams a chance to work with current technology.
Absolutely, and fans want to see it too. And so to see these cars fuel injected now, like your street car, it's very important to the consumer.
Loshak out of the final turn, coming to the main straightaway, will lead them back to green here in Mid-Ohio. McIvern sitting in second spot. Adam Andretti, Justin Haley, Denise Kazimets, your top 5. Loshak again sets sail here.
And we saw Lawrence Loshak get a big lead early on in this race, but now Dylan McIvern second. He's got a lot of speed as well. He had to come from 5th on the grid, so we'll see if he can hang with Lawrence.
Tommy Archer taking advantage of the 3 cars that went off all on the same lap. Didn't look as though there was moisture on the racetrack. When you see multiple cars go off in different places, that's a natural thought to have, but I think we just had contact sending Shane Lewis off, and then a couple of drivers just making a mistake.
Maybe built a little bit of excitement, a little adrenaline on the racetrack, and it'll happen in TA2 category.
Tommy Archer making a move to the inside of Kazimets in that bright orange Newman watch machine. Archer with a little lockup goes around. Wow, Tommy Archer, who rarely makes a mistake, he's been doing this a very long time, goes off into the gravel trap.
Very late in the brake zone, hard braking. You saw those rear tires start to lock and slid off in front of Tonys.
One more look at it here. Of course, these are heavy front-engine race cars, and when you unload a car like that, if you don't brake at the right place, it'll throw you off.
Absolutely, and we saw Tonys do a great job here, staying on the brake. He let turn and get in front of him, no contact. Both drivers be able to keep going forward.
Tommy able to clutch it, get it back in gear, and drive it out of trouble and get it back on the racetrack, but he gives up a top 5 spot there. That allows Gar Robinson to move up into the top 5. Kazimets right up behind Gar.
And we talked about Gar early in the show. We saw him back there 10th, 11th. Now he's up front. He's in the top 7. Can he get in top 5? He needs every single point he can get.
And young Justin Haley in the 99. How impressive is this 17-year-old youngster, able to run in the top 5 here? That NASCAR K&N win on an oval earlier this season. A strong contender every time he gets in one of these race cars. And here comes Shane Lewis on the charge, getting by Aaron Quine in the 69 car. Quine, a driving instructor here at Mid-Ohio. From this area, he's carrying First Energy sponsorship on the car this weekend. Great to have him back in Trans Am, a frequent competitor in SCCA national competition as well. Todd spoke to Aaron before the start.
First Energy is the sponsor of the TA2 race. It's also on the 69 car of Aaron Quine. Do you have a lot of energy in this car to help you go to first?
Well, we certainly hope so. We got to Mid-Ohio this year with the help of First Energy and also the ECC guys, Spill Fix, and my crew. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have gotten here. So we're looking forward to a good, solid run today, home track, and we'll see if we can bring it home.
Any sort of home field advantage that you might put to use today?
Well, I'm hoping so. I think I kind of know my way around here after 26 years.
Good luck today.
Thanks, guys.
So Aaron Quine battling for a top 10 position now, but Shane Lewis just getting by him. Got to give a tip of the cap to Lewis, certainly getting back on the racetrack quickly, not losing too much ground here. One more caution, and Shane could be back in the mix as we watch the battle for 10th. Meantime, Tony Buffamante, after that off, has come to pit road. Here's Todd.
More trouble for Tony Buffamante along pit road. Green flag stop, left, rear, tire down. They're going to replace it, get the lug nuts back on, and get him out as quickly as they can. This day has gotten very bad very quickly.
And you can't forget, Tony Buffamante's in the thick of this points championship. This is the last thing he needs. Hopefully he'll be able to stay on the lead lap. If he can get a late race caution, he might get back up there.
Kevin Poitras in the CBRT Ford and the 97 of Tom Sheehan, the LTK Chevrolet, getting together here in the carousel just before you come to the main straightaway. Tough part of the racetrack. On board with Sheehan as he gets it refired.
And we just saw these guys battling hard from 10th to 13th. Not sure what caused the spin, but maybe we'll get a shot of it here.
Looks like Sheehan double spin there. He saw Poitras go around. Did he get on the brakes too hard?
I think that's exactly what happens. He saw that car spin in front of him, jumped on the brakes, dirt on the racetrack as we saw a wheel drop there, just got the back end light, and around she goes. Might have been a little bit of target fixation and panic there. It happens. Split-second decisions.
Fans enjoying the show here in the Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car 100, presented by ETE Reman, part of First Energy Weekend at Mid-Ohio.
Trans Am Racing Series on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by the General Insurance. Get your anonymous online auto insurance quote now. And by Replay XD, professional action cameras, the leader since 2005.
Back in Mid-Ohio, Keith Prosiak and the HP Tuner Chevrolet has gotten into trouble as well. Down in the kitty litter, he's going to get it refired, come back up onto the racetrack. Take a look at what happened here as he comes down the front straightaway. Wow.
It looked like he was getting some pressure from Shane Lewis, was peeking to the inside, tried to protect the position, drove in too deep, locked up the rear tires, and slid off.
We've seen a lot of that here today in Mid-Ohio. Guys really pushing hard.
Absolutely, and the brake zones here are very challenging. When you go down into the corner, the car gets light, the rear end gets light. It's very easy to lock tires.
Adam Andretti trying to hold off Dylan McIvern as they fight it out for second spot. McIvern on the inside, looks like he's got the position.
And they're still side-by-side. Great racing. Both drivers giving each other a little room. Adam side drafting Dylan down the straightaway. Going to be side-by-side down into the brake zone.
Adam Andretti, one of the most personable drivers in the field, but he does not give up, that's for sure.
He's my favorite guy to watch. We always see him max pushing as hard as he can, just like you see right there.
And he's got the preferred line now going into the S's, takes the spot back.
Both drivers deserve a lot of credit there. It's hard to go side-by-side for that long here at Mid-Ohio.
Adam Andretti trying to hang on to second against Dylan McIvern. A couple of drivers in the points championship fight at the midpoint of this season. Take a look at the nose of that 24. What are those little chains that kind of drift back and forth there?
Well, what they are is they're just there to clean the debris. Anything grass, rock, gravel that could get in that screen and block that radiator.
Debris like Tommy Archer probably just picked up for going off for the second time here today.
And you're exactly right. You see it. It's very easy to happen here. That front nose digs in. That splitter shoves the dirt up there.
Take a look at Tommy here as he moves by the 78 of rookie Harry Steenbachers and right off.
And this is the second time we've seen Tommy Archer go off in the same exact spot. Might need to work on that brake bias a little bit.
The veteran in the Cool Mat 54 car gets back up onto the surface and pursues the chase again. Battling for position here behind leader Lawrence Loshak. Adam Andretti in second. He's got guys who want by him in a hurry. McIvern and now Justin Haley challenging. McIvern swings to the inside to the keyhole.
That was a great move by Dylan McIvern. He was protecting against Justin Haley, but was able to get alongside Adam and pull off the pass.
Denise Kazimets gets back in the hunt, as does Gar Robinson here. But McIvern establishes second spot.
And this is what we expect out of the TA2 category. Lots of overtaking, lots of passing, guys hanging the cars out. This is great battles.
Getting down to the final 15 laps here as we see the 44 of Andretti right up alongside McIvern again. Adam good at the end of that long straightaway. And not afraid to challenge on the outside.
And both these drivers are doing a great job. You see a little bit of contact, but they're giving each other enough room to pull off this side-by-side racing.
Justin Haley sitting in the top 5 watching from the seat of the 99 car.
And this is a fun spot to be in if you're Justin. You're waiting for these guys to swing wide, make contact, get 2 spots for the price of 1.
McIvern sticks the nose of the 24 in front of Andretti's 44 for second spot. Haley in 4th, Kazimets is 5th. Guy Robinson 6th as they hit the carousel. Coming out of the pit road straightaway here in Mid-Ohio. If you've never seen this racetrack in person or seen a telecast from here, the Honda starter stand, that is not used for the start of the race. The green flag comes out on the long straightaway that comes out of the keyhole here. But the pit road straightaway is considered the main straightaway. The finish line is right there as we watch the battle for position. Here's Haley up now alongside Adam Andretti.
And Adam Andretti running a defensive line there. He got past the last lap by Dylan McIvern. He didn't want to give up another spot, protecting that position.
These races are time limited to 75 minutes or 100 miles, and today looks as though we'll get the full 100 miles in. On board with Guy Robinson in the Pura Vida Tequila 74 Ranch Resort Chevrolet.
And Gar's done a great job today. We haven't seen any mistakes out of him. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Wasn't that strong in qualifying, had to start mid-pack, but now he's worked his way to the front and he's put himself in a position. If these guys make a mistake, he still has an opportunity to get on the podium.
Watching the hard fight within the top 5 here. Adam Andretti trying to hold on to 3rd. Justin Haley challenging as they hit the S's in Mid-Ohio. Denise Kazimets right there as well in 5th position. Great battle so far. We're down to the last dozen laps at Mid-Ohio, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, Lexington, Ohio. The Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car Challenge, powered by ETE Reman. And the series is powered by AEM Infinity. Contact in the keyhole. As one car gets moved out of the way, that's Kevin Poitras in the 73. Dylan McIvern not afraid to use the chrome horn there.
You know, Dylan was trying to get through the slower traffic there. Not sure. I think they both caught each other a little off guard, but you see heavy damage on that car. When that splitter digs into that gravel trap, there's not a lot to support it.
Poitras fighting for a spot in the top 10. McIvern running 3rd says, hey, don't get in my way. I've got a podium position to contend for here. As he moves up on the 63, McIvern gets a little bit out of shape. Adam Andretti right back alongside, takes advantage.
It's great to watch Adam Andretti. He never misses an opportunity to put the pressure on.
McIvern, Andretti, and Justin Haley. Denise Kazimets right there as well as they fight it out in the top 5.
Now keep in mind, this is Tonice's first Trans Am race. He's probably watching this thinking these guys are out of their minds. They are crazy. There's so much excitement right in front of him right there.
Lawrence Loshak, the Loshak Stark ETE Reman Chevrolet with Pennzoil on board. Started on pole. He has led all the way, set sail immediately, and as we mentioned here a couple of times, you're leading the race. You look at the rearview mirror and see this going on, you're thinking, man, this is my day.
I don't even know if Lawrence Loshak can see them in this mirror. He's had such a big lead all day long.
Poitras, who got bumped out of the way by McIvern a moment ago, he has beached the 73. You could kind of see that coming.
Yeah, you know, it's so difficult when you have that much of your car falling apart. Not sure if it got underneath the front end, lift the front tires off the ground, or maybe knock the water out of that car as well.
So Poitras at the exit there of the turn at the end of the long straightaway, turn 3 here in Mid-Ohio, he has got that thing stuck in the gravel. We'll see if that brings out a full course yellow. And trouble for Shane Lewis. Lewis, who is contending for a top 5 spot, he's pulled off, it looks like, headed to the keyhole.
It looks like he might have had a mechanical issue there. He's pulled over to a safe spot of the racetrack. Probably that engine is not running.
The spot he's familiar with. That's where he went bouncing off the racetrack earlier. We get a full course yellow. Poitras's car not in a safe location, neither is Shane, really. So we'll get a full course caution here late in the race.
And if you're Lawrence Loshak, you do not want to see this caution, but at the same time, veteran driver, he knew it was coming. There was no way he was going to keep that big of a lead all the way to the end. Hopefully he saved some for the end.
Guy Robinson's team on pit road talking to their driver on the radio, also talking to Shane Lewis, their teammate, to find out what happened to the 72 car, see if they can get him back into the action here. This will bunch him up behind the safety car for a late restart. We'll see what happens. Can Lawrence Loshak hold back the charge of McEvern, Andretti, Haley, and Casabets? We'll find out when we come back in Mid-Ohio. Welcome back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Coverage of the TA2 event, the Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car 100, presented by ETE Reman, powered by AEM Infinity. Green flag back in the air, laps winding down, time running short if anybody's going to challenge Lawrence Loshak. Here's McEvern moving by one of the lap cars. The 44 of Andretti is third. Justin Haley challenging now, trying to use that lap car as a pick.
And we see Lawrence Loshak do exactly what he did all race long and get out to a big lead, no challengers.
Gar Robinson on the inside. Meantime, they go 3 wide momentarily. Haley keeps it straight. Robinson keeps it on the pavement. Denise Casabet's right there in 4th position.
They all got jumbled up there. They did a great job. No spins. Everybody staying green, fighting hard till the end.
That long straightaway has a kink in it. Here's Adam Andretti diving to the inside of McEvern, picking off second spot behind Loshak. Take a look back at the contact here coming to the keyhole as Robinson swings to the inside. Casabets leans on Haley. Robinson went over the curb to stay out of the way.
And what happened there is 3 wide going into the keyhole never will work. Each guy was trying to give a little bit of room there. That's how they're able to get through. Slight contact, but no harm, no foul. Racing hard.
Adam Andretti slides it out of the right-hander. Short straightaway down the hill here. Not many more opportunities to make a move for these drivers in the top 5. Loshak taking advantage, just driving away. Here's Casabets up on the outside of McEvern.
And we see Casabets more aggressive at the end of this race than we did in the beginning. Kind of felt like he was sitting back there watching the action happen, getting a feel for where he was good, where he can make the pass. Now on this restart, being very aggressive.
All the experience he has, none of it in Trans Am machines. He goes, now McEvern off the base. Dylan McEvern slips up high here and gives up a couple of spots.
Not sure if he has a problem there or just drove in too deep with the pressure on his back bumper.
So Andretti now in second, Casabets third, Haley fourth. McEvern slides back to 5th. Robinson's got him within his clutches, maybe. Robinson tries to hook a wheel over the berm there.
He dropped 2 wheels off the side of the curb, hook that curb, try to get the traction down, and maybe get a shot at out-braking him down here.
Coming down the long straightaway where they take the green flag. You can see the bend in this straightaway. And here's Robinson to the inside. He gets it locked up. Gar Robinson locks the brakes and goes off. Keeps it out of the gravel trap. We'll see if he can refire, and he does. And he gets back up on the course. One more look at what happened to Gar Robinson here.
Well, you see Gar pop out, try to get that pass, and when Dylan pulled to the right to block slightly, Gar made another movement on the wheel, and that just broke the rear traction.
So Gar Robinson goes off in the Pura Vida Tequila 74 car. Gets it back on course, but misses out on a chance for a top 5, it would appear.
And Gar did a great job battling hard. He's still got some laps left.
Lawrence Loshak and the ETE Reman Pennzoil Chevrolet has led all the way. Before the start today, we spoke with him about the pressure of running a big business like ETE Reman and then driving this race car.
I mean, at ETE Reman, you know, it's just like racing. You can't do this alone. You know, I got a great group of people working with me. Really exciting year for us. We just opened a brand new 160,000 square foot facility, aiming to be, again, the largest, the best transmission remanufacturer for all cars and vehicles that you see on the highway today. You know, it's really exciting there. So yeah, I mean, I like to keep busy. It definitely keeps me busy on both sides. Of course, the Mike Cope racing team really helps out taking care of the race car in between races, giving me a great car to drive.
So Lawrence Loshak leading flag to flag, looking here for perhaps his first Trans Am victory. Casabets in the 03 races by Adam Andretti. And here comes Justin Haley to put pressure on the 44.
Absolutely. Tonys has done a great job. Been aggressive since that last restart, picking through these guys. Not sure if he has enough time, but he is pushing hard.
Is this all about tire management with these bias plies as you get toward the end of a 100-mile run here?
you know, we've seen these cars run so hard throughout the duration of the race. It doesn't seem that the tires fall off too much, but like any tire, if you abuse it over and over again, you just won't have anything left.
Justin Haley in the 99, running 4th right now, trying to elbow his way by the 44 of Adam Andretti one final time and earn a podium spot here. Lawrence Loshak looks as though he's headed to the house with the victory pretty much in hand. We'll see what happens over the final few laps. But this battle, the 44 and the 99, this is intense.
And we see Adam Andretti sliding around. He may have a little bit of tire fall off. He doesn't have the speed we saw earlier in the race. This might be an opportunity for Justin Haley to get him.
Loshak with the white flag waving. He's left by Tom Sheehan there in the 97. Tommy Archer back on the racetrack a little further back. There is Kazimets running in 2nd spot now in the 03 car in his Trans Am debut. Adam Andretti is 3rd. Haley is 4th in the Fraternal Order of Eagles 99 car. Haley says, hey, I can get to the podium if I can get one more spot one more time. These two guys have swapped these positions a bunch here today.
Absolutely. They've been racing hard. It's been clean racing. This is the battle for the final podium spot. This is the battle that's on the racetrack right now. Justin, we've seen him be very aggressive at the end of Brainerd, had some contact. I don't know if we'll see that today.
Down the long straightaway, out of the keyhole. Andretti holding on to 3rd. Haley in 4th. 2nd spot belongs to Kazimets behind race leader Lawrence Loshak, who appears to be on his way to a wire-to-wire victory here in the Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car Challenge presented by ETE Reman, powered by AEM Infinity. Loshak hasn't put a wheel wrong all day.
Loshak has had the most dominant performance we've seen in TA2 all year long.
For Loshak Stark Racing and Mike Cope Racing, the builders of the car, into the carousel. About a 1/4 of a mile to go for Loshak as he bids for his first career victory. Coming at one of his home racetracks here at Mid-Ohio, Lawrence Loshak takes the checkered flag. And look at this, Haley getting up alongside the 44 car, moving the 44 car. Adam Andretti gasses it and goes around. Loshak wins it. Andretti nearly wrecks here. He will lose a podium position to young Justin Haley. As the checkered flag falls, Kazimets gets 2nd. Haley comes across the line 3rd. LP Montour spins the Speed Logic's Dodge at the end of the front straightaway. Wow, a lot of contact, a lot of incidents, a lot of guys in trouble. Loshak never put a wheel wrong. Take a look at what happened between Haley and Andretti. Boy, they were really wearing each other out here.
Side by side, rubbing, beating, banging. Justin got into the back of Adam, almost spun him out. Adam tried to get back to the bumper, but wasn't able to do it.
Couple of guys with a lot of short track, oval track experience showing you that side of their driving abilities. We saw Montour put a wheel off there trying to avoid trouble. He ended up spinning at the end of the front straightaway as Loshak greets the fans here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course after his victory here in the Pura Vida Tequila Muscle Car 100.
Trans Am Racing Series on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by First Energy, the official energy of Trans Am Racing at Mid-Ohio. By Pura Vida Tequila, the world's smoothest tequila. Tastes like victory. And by ETE Reman Transmissions. Like new, only better.
Justin Haley out of the 99 car on course. He has spun as well after that contact. There was an incident after the checkered flag here. Let's show you what happened between the 44 and the 99 after the checkers now. Adam Andretti got back on the racetrack and went and hunted down Justin Haley and spun him.
You never want to see that, especially after a race, but obviously both drivers had a lot of contact. Adam Andretti ended up on the short side of the incident, lost that podium spot, was frustrated, and he took that frustrated out on Justin.
Adam Andretti talking to SCCA Pro Racing officials with the helmet still on here at Mid-Ohio. He's unhappy, but here's a guy who's really happy with Todd.
Climbing out of the car, Lawrence Loshak disconnects the cables, thrusts his arms in the air, gets a little shower from the team, and the smile on his face says it all.
Oh, man,
you
finally.
had, what a car all day long. Even on those restarts, no real serious challenges.
Man, you know, MCRE, Mike Cope Racing, the whole crew, they didn't give me a race car today to drive. They gave me a spaceship, man. The thing was just glued. The big thing about this class, you know, we barely have enough tires, barely have enough brakes. and I just didn't have to really slide it along. You know, I could conserve tires and still maintain a really good pace. So, man, whew.
So Lawrence Loshak picks up his first career victory over Tanis Kazimets in his rookie Trans Am start. How about second for Tanis?
That's great. He did a great job managing his first TA2 race, able to get on the podium. Hopefully we'll see him back in the series.
Gar Robinson recovers for a top 10, finishing 9th. Tommy Archer 17th. Shane Lewis 19th after late race troubles. And at the end of the field, Adam Andretti and the 44 SCCA Pro Racing officials disqualifying Adam for this late race contact. This looked like just hard racing to me, but Adam didn't like what went on here, evidently, because after the checkered flag, you could see him put the bumper to the 99, and Justin Haley able to stay straight and score a third-place finish.
Adam Andretti obviously upset about the last lap contact. Unfortunately, they made contact after the race.
Adam Andretti, give us your view, your impressions of what happened out there.
You know, I'll let the folks at home make a decision for themselves from what they see on. I think it's pretty obvious on video. This individual doesn't have the best reputation for racing people clean this year. I think we saw that at Brainerd. I think the folks at home saw that at Brainerd. The chief steward went so far as to have a conversation with said drivers. Just didn't seem to work, I don't think. It's unfortunate because ECC Motorsports, Engineered Components Company, Anchor Bolt and Screw, BSN Sports, Bell Helmets, Hinchman, Racing Uniforms, all the people that help us out and make this possible for us deserve the result that we worked so hard for today. And to have it ripped away by an action like that was really just disappointing. Thought we raced better talent than that. And I know JJ's got a lot of talent, but when you do that, it erases it all. And it's unfortunate because he's at the beginning of his career. And you can't ever hide from this stuff for the rest of your career. This is the stuff that gets pinned on you. So hopefully he takes to heart what's going on here. Hopefully he'll take to heart the conversation that we'll have. And we'll move on from here and go to Road America and hope to get redemption there. Thanks, everyone. Thank you at home.
Adam Andretti, frustration.
Well, Michael, this will affect the points battle considerably because Adam Andretti loses a top 5 spot. Guy Robinson still the leader by 15 over Dylan McEvoy.
And after a tough day for Gar Robinson, he maintains that lead. Unfortunately, his other competitors had problems as well.
Justin Haley uses the situation to rise to 4th in points. And how about LP Montour up to 5th after a solid 4th place run despite the late contact?
After a little sit down to rest and recover, what a day, what a run.
Yeah, it was crazy. We started 19th. Lap 3, I went on the grass in turn 1. The engine went really hot. I had to pit in, remove the grouch on the front grille. Went to the last and finished P4. And had an accident at the last corner, last lap. It's amazing. I want to thank you, the whole crew, the Stevens Miller Racing. They gave me a great car for that race.
Montour from Quebec in Canada with a top 4 run here. It was a wild day at Mid-Ohio, Michael McDowell.
Well, we didn't lack for action. Lots of side-by-side